We know that every day our team members fulfill our brand promise by caringly being at the side and on the side of our customers, team members, and community.
We want to care for you in the same way by making time for education, reflection, and renewal.
We hope you enjoy this installment of our Employee Wellness Series.
And remember, let's be careful out there.
Hello, welcome to this month's wellness video. My name is Bonnie McKeel and I am Central Iowa's Knowledge Acquisition and Transfer Specialist, and I'm so excited to share some of my favorite wellness pastimes with you all today. In my free time, I love to practice all things circus related. It is a great way for me to stay active and get a workout in while having a whole bunch of fun. My main practice is aerial dance and aerial arts, which looks a little bit like this. Doesn't that look like so much fun? It is, but don't get scared away yet, because we will not be learning how to do any of that stuff in this video today. Instead, I would like to show you a couple of my favorite hula hoop tricks. I got involved with learning hula hoop tricks and other flow arts last year, and probably around April, well, when all of the gyms were still closed and a lot of my ability to access my main passion wasn't there. I was looking for something that I could just do, something I'd get creative with that didn't involve a lot of energy too, because it was just a time for that. And that is when I started taking a couple online hula hoop lessons. Flow arts, hula hooping, all these tricks are just another circus practice, so it kind of aligned with some of my interests already, which is why I picked it up. And so I hope you enjoy this video and kind of learning alongside me today with some of these hula hoop tricks. When I show you some of the things in this video, be sure and practice at your own pace. That means that you are more than welcome to pause the video sometimes, try out a trick, and then come back to it and hit play when you're ready. I hope you have as much fun watching this video as I'm going to have making it. So I'm going to set up my phone on the tripod so that I can show you some really cool tricks over yonder. Okay. So one of the first steps to learning how to do some hula hoop tricks is getting yourself a hula hoop. I have quite a few that I've picked up over the past year. You can find hula hoops in lots of places. I recommend starting with maybe an inexpensive dollar store hula hoop, and then if you love it, going on to Etsy and trying out different sizes and different grips and different materials, different weights of the hoops. That is one thing that I have done slowly over time, which is why I've acquired so many. I do not use all of these at the same time. So the first thing that we're going to go over is just your typical waist hooping. This might be reminiscent to what some of you did as a kid. I like to use a really big hula hoop for this. And if you've never hula hooped before, now's a great time to start. So one thing with practicing waist hooping is to plant one foot forward. Oftentimes when people look at waist hooping, they think they need to swivel their hips around in a circle. And that's not actually the case. The action for waist hooping is more a front and back motion, where you just kind of rock back and forth. The best way to really learn how to waist hoop is to just get used to trying it. Stick one foot in front of the other, plant it on the ground. Legs not too far apart. This would be really hard. Want to keep them kind of close together. And I'm using a really big hoop for this. The bigger the hoop, the easier the waist hooping is. So you just kind of pass it around and then just rock back and forth. And then if you're feeling confident here, you can start taking a couple steps. I'm used to doing this over and over and over again to just get real comfortable with waist hooping. Really fun. It is a little bit of a core workout too, so you get your extra wellness points in doing this fun exercise. But hula hooping does not stop there. It's a lot more than just waist hooping, like I personally did as a child. So now I'm going to show you how to hula hoop on the arm. A lot of times when people start working on hula hooping, they end up hula hooping more on their forearm, which is fine, but it's hard to stop it. I really prefer arm hula hooping by hooping on my hand. And in order to hoop on my hand and keep it from falling off and also be able to stop it and switch directions, I take my hand in this position. So I'll hold my hand in this position the whole time, and then my arm just kind of bounce up and down to keep the hoop going. So what that looks like is I put it here, I have the hoop and the crick of my thumb there, and then you can just kind of start it by shooting it down and then arm hooping. It's fun. But once you have this arm hooping down, you can use your thumb as a brake, which looks like this. So what I did is I waited till the hoop, the outside of the hoop was on the top of my thumb, and I just closed my thumb and stopped it. So again, what that looks like is here. When the hoop is pointing down, stop it. And then once you stop it, you can always switch directions. So that's kind of fun. You can be on one hand, stop it, switch directions. Once you have that trick down, it's really fun to do it on two hands. Stand back. And then over here, instead of using my free arm to start it, I'm just gonna kind of use my thumbs here to get, and flicking my wrist to get the hoops going. So at this point, I have both hoops going at the same speed. If I want to mix it up to add a little bit more variety, instead of moving my hands in both directions like this, I can kind of mess with the time a little bit. And then it creates that illusion that the hoops are just kind of going all over the place. Get it started, and you can kind of change up the speed by going hoop, hoop, hoop. It looks even more cool. I'm going to show you what it looks like from this side, because that's when it really looks kind of magical. 6, 7, 8, and 1, and 2. Okay, once you're really confident with your arm hooping, you can also do the same motion, but above your head. Looks really snazzy. I'll show you right now. Same concept as when the hoop is down by your side, but it's above your head. So you get some kind of extra snazzy things. Then you can like play around with different arm movements, you know, really make it your own. And now I will be showing you an isolation. This is just the start of an isolation. It's a two-handed isolation. There are lots of different types of isolations, and isolations are probably one of my favorite things to do with the hoop, because it looks like it's kind of just floating there magically. You'll see what I mean in a second. So this isolation is going to be start with two hands. So we're going to kind of pretend that our hula hoop here is a clock. And so we have 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. And those are the parts of the hoop that you want to pay attention to. So you're going to take our hands, palm down, at 12 o'clock on the hoop. And then you're going to slowly, like you're driving a steering wheel, switch it up to the top, till you're at 6 o'clock, and take your other hand, reach at it with a grip, just like this, and grab your clock, and go back down to 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, grab, up to 12 o'clock, grab. So if you kind of see that motion, I'll show you what it looks like sped up a bit. You can also cross your arms when grabbing just to add a little bit of extra flair. What that looks like is this. So that is a two-handed isolation. If you got those and you're really comfortable and you're ready to move on to your next step, you can do a one-handed isolation. With that, what you're going to do is kind of keep that same motion of driving your steering wheel up to 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock. When you get to the top, you're going to flip your hand a little bit to re-grip so you can finish out your clock. So that's going to look like, same hand starts at 6 o'clock, goes up to 12 o'clock, and once I'm at 12 o'clock, I'm going to switch my grip and go around. So again, 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock, do a little flick of your wrist to re-grab. And so, as a little bit of a recap, we went over waist hooping, which that enough is great to get moving and practice for a long time. We did all different types of hooping on your hand to get you started, and we also did some very beginner isolations. Hope you had fun with those. I'm going to show you one more party trick. This is bouncing the hoop on your hand. Makes it look like it's flying. So the secret with this is you're going to take a hand flat and place the hoop there, and then you're going to look, hold your arm out, and you're going to look at the top of the hoop. So you keep your eyesight at the top of the hoop, and if the hoop starts to fall this way, you just walk that direction. If the hoop starts to fall the other direction, you just walk that direction. Show you what that looks like. So here we are. But so hands flat. I'm going to just stare at the top of the hoop. And then once I feel confident, just let go. Alright, there are so many different types of hula hoop tricks that you can play around with. I hope you enjoyed learning these in this video. I definitely am not a professional hooper or professional flow artist at all, but I sure have a lot of fun with it. If you are interested in learning more, there are tons of free tutorials on YouTube. Just kind of walk you through some beginner hula hooping tutorials. You can also always look and see if there are any local flow arts classes in your area, and then you can kind of get that same sense of circus community that I love so much. So anyway, enjoy, have a lot of fun putting all those tricks together. Once you kind of have your rhythm down, you can play around with doing different things. So we're here, and then we're going to switch it up and do some isolations and just really dance some music and have fun with it. Anyway, that concludes the tricks that I have to teach you today. I hope that you had just as much fun watching this video and trying some of these hoop tricks along with me. And remember, as always, stay well.